This podcast is sponsored by Science Based Learning. Discover effective language acquisition with their unique system combining ebooks, audiobooks, and videos with an online practice app using spaced repetition to boost retention. Visit sciencebasedlearning.com today.
How to Master Spanish Legal Terms, a friendly guide for beginners. Explore practical tips for mastering Spanish legal terms, perfect for beginners wanting to boost their language skills and understand legal Spanish clearly. Mastering Spanish Legal Terms, a friendly guide to navigating legal language. Hey there! So, I was chatting with a friend just the other day about how tricky it is to get comfortable with legal Spanish, especially if you're someone who's just starting to learn Spanish or maybe taking a Spanish language course. Legal terms aren't exactly the kind of vocabulary that comes up in everyday conversations, right? But whether you're planning to study law, work with Spanish-speaking clients, or just want to get better at understanding official documents, getting a handle on Spanish legal terminology can really give you an edge. Now, you might be wondering, why focus on Spanish legal terms when there are so many basic Spanish phrases and beginner Spanish lessons out there? Well, if you want to boost your fluency and comprehension in specific high-stakes situations, understanding legal vocabulary is a smart way to level up. Plus, it's a good way to challenge yourself beyond the basics. Let's talk about a few tips that helped me, and could help you too, with mastering Spanish legal terms. Start with core vocabulary. Just like any other part of the language, legal Spanish has its frequently used terms. Words like contrato, contract, demanda, lawsuit, testigo, witness, juez, judge, and acusado, accused, are among the essentials. Think of this as your foundation, sort of like learning basic Spanish phrases when you first begin your language studies. Understand context, not just words. A big challenge in legal language is that terms often have very specific meanings that might be a little different from their everyday use. For example, juicio means trial, but it also can mean judgment or common sense in a casual setting. Pay attention to these nuances and use bilingual legal documents or resources to see these words in action. Use science-based learning methods. Believe it or not, research-backed techniques make a big difference in how you absorb and retain tough vocabulary. Science-based learning, check it out here, offers strategies that combine proven cognitive science techniques with language immersion practices. This helps words stick, even the complicated legal ones. Practice with real documents. Once you have a handle on basic terms, challenge yourself by reading real-world materials like court rulings, contracts, or legal notices in Spanish. Don't worry about understanding everything at first. Focus on spotting and learning key terms and sentence structures. Connect with native speakers or legal professionals. If you have the chance, talk to Spanish speakers who work in law or just happen to be familiar with legal vocabulary. These conversations are golden for picking up idiomatic expressions and hearing how terms are naturally used. What's cool is that by integrating these strategies, you don't just memorize a list of words, you actually start thinking in Spanish about legal subjects. This kind of immersion is exactly the goal of many beginner Spanish lessons, but applied to a niche field. And hey, if you're an absolute beginner, don't get discouraged. You can build up to this by taking a solid Spanish language course, or following a series of beginner Spanish lessons to master the basics first. Then, branching out into specialized vocabulary like legal terms becomes much more accessible. Remember, legal Spanish isn't just for lawyers. It's helpful for immigrants dealing with paperwork, parents navigating custody agreements, business owners working with contracts, and travelers wanting to understand local laws. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel. Before I let you go, I want to share an awesome resource for anyone serious about improving their Spanish skills effectively. Science-based learning offers tools and courses designed with the latest research on how our brains remember language best. If you're ready to take your Spanish to the next level, Whether that's mastering legal terms or just getting a stronger grasp on the language as a whole, grab a notebook, start exploring those legal vocab lists, and give science-based learning a try. Start your language journey now. Embrace the challenge, enjoy the process, and watch your skills grow faster than you'd expect. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Catch you on the next episode where we can chat more about making your Spanish skills shine.